Have you ever felt like you're your own worst enemy when it comes to money? You're not alone, and it's not entirely your fault. What if I told you that deep-seated psychological traps are hardwired into your brain, actively working against your financial goals? These aren't just bad habits. They are cognitive biases that trick you into making poor decisions. Understanding these traps is the first step to breaking free and finally taking control of your financial future. It's time to stop letting your brain sabotage your bank account. The first and most common trap is our brain's obsession with instant gratification. This is the short-term focus bias. We see this with Alex, who just got paid. He knows he should put that extra $200 into his investment account, a fund that could grow substantially over the next decade. But then, he walks past a store window displaying the latest noise-canceling headphones. His brain screams, "You deserve a treat now!" The distant, abstract reward of future wealth feels less real than the immediate pleasure of unboxing those new headphones. He makes the purchase, telling himself he'll save extra next month. A promise that rarely comes true. This is your brain prioritizing a small, immediate dopamine hit over a much larger, life-changing reward down the line. Next, we fall for the lottery mindset, a seductive belief in a magical, effortless windfall. Alex is at the convenience store, and instead of saving his spare change, he buys a handful of lottery tickets. As he scratches them, he daydreams about quitting his job, buying a mansion, and traveling the world. This is the allure of passive, instant wealth. Our brains are drawn to the low-effort, high-reward fantasy, even when the odds are astronomically against us. We rationalize the spending as a cheap form of entertainment. But it's a symptom of a deeper issue. A reluctance to engage in the slow, steady, and sometimes boring process of consistent saving and investing, which is the only proven path to building real wealth. This leads directly into the trap of retirement procrastination. A calendar on the wall begins to flip, the months and years flying by at an alarming speed. We see Alex at 25 thinking retirement is a lifetime away. Then at 35, he's too busy with his career. At 45, he's overwhelmed by expenses and feels it's too late to start. This happens because our brain perceives our future self as a complete stranger. Saving for this stranger feels like giving money away. The immediate needs of our present self always feel more urgent. So we delay, not realizing that the powerful force of compound interest is a finite resource, and the time we waste is wealth we can never get back. As financial pressure mounts, many of us fall into the avoidance spiral. Imagine a stack of unopened envelopes on Alex's kitchen counter. Their bills, credit card statements, and late notices, each one a paper cut of anxiety. Instead of facing them, he turns away, grabs his phone, and loses himself in endless scrolling. The thought of adding up his debt is so overwhelming that his brain chooses a short-term solution: ignore it. But avoidance doesn't make the problem disappear. It allows it to grow in the dark, accumulating interest and late fees. The small, manageable problem he could have solved last month has now metastasized into a full-blown financial crisis, all because his brain chose to flee rather than fight. Even when we do get a little extra cash, our brains find a way to trick us through mental accounting. Alex receives a $500 tax refund. Instead of seeing it as part of his overall income, his brain puts it into a separate mental bucket labeled bonus money. This found money doesn't feel like it belongs to his regular budget or savings goals. So he uses it for a fancy dinner, new clothes, and a weekend trip. He treats it like free play casino chips, not real money that could have paid off a chunk of his credit card debt or boosted his emergency fund. This arbitrary separation prevents us from optimizing our financial decisions and allocating every dollar to its most effective use. Then there's the insidious sunk cost fallacy, our brain's inability to let go of a losing battle. A few years ago, Alex invested a significant amount of money into a speculative next big thing stock. It has been plummeting ever since. His financial advisor tells him to cut his losses and reinvest elsewhere, but he can't. He thinks, "I've already put so much in, I can't back out now." He's no longer making a rational decision based on the investment's future potential. Instead, his decision is driven by the past, by the emotional weight of the money he has already lost. He continues to hold on and might even invest more, desperately trying to justify his initial decision, all while digging himself into a deeper financial hole. Finally, we are ensnared by the trap of social comparison. Alex is scrolling through his social media feed. He sees his friends on exotic vacations, showing off new cars, and celebrating expensive home renovations. His own life feels dull and inadequate in comparison. This curated reality triggers a powerful primal fear of falling behind the tribe. Suddenly, his perfectly good smartphone feels obsolete, and his modest apartment seems shabby. He feels an intense pressure to spend money he doesn't have, not for the joy of the purchase itself, but to project an image of success that matches what he sees online. This keeping up with the Joneses is a game you can never win, and it's a direct path to debt and dissatisfaction. But here is the most important part of this story. You are not destined to be a victim of your own mind. The final scene isn't one of defeat, but one of empowerment. We see Alex sitting at his desk, not with a look of stress, but with quiet determination. He has a simple spreadsheet open, and he's creating a budget. He's taking a small, tangible step. He's acknowledging the biases, facing the numbers, and making a conscious choice. By understanding how your brain can lie to you about money, you reclaim your power. You can start building systems, like automating your savings and creating a clear budget, that override those flawed instincts. Your journey to financial freedom begins today, not with a lottery win, but with a single deliberate decision to be smarter than your own brain.